Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's Devin, the OG, the original Grognard, and it's almost like I forgot who I was there for a moment. Yeah, throat still hasn't recovered from last week's allergy fit. Anyways, we're back here. We're sitting down. We're going to start playing through Silverton, a game of Colorado railroading. We're going to there are several scenarios that you can do in here. But we're just going to go with the basic one. I could go with the advanced one where it's a little bit longer, but we're just going to go with the basic one. Start in Denver with 8,000 or 10,000 on a Power 9 train. I don't want to mess with the trains. I think the trains are cool. I just don't want to have to keep track of what years the more powerful trains come in. One prospector, one surveyor. Use only the freight markets available with one player. Play until you have 30,000 more or more in cash. And basically, yeah, if it takes you longer than 18 turns, you're a loser. I mean, if you're going beyond 14, you're a bad businessman. Let's just leave it that way. And I think it's kind of funny. It says use only the freight markets available with one player. Well, you're starting off in Denver, and Denver's the only. It's the only market that you can sell to. So why? It's even if you do link up with Salt Lake City or any of the other ones, since you're operating out of Denver, Denver's the only place. Well, I mean, I suppose. Well, I guess it would make it easier because I don't have to worry about these other markets. So yeah, let's go ahead and take those markers off there. Don't have to worry about those shifting markers. So we're just playing with Denver, and of course, gold, universal, doesn't matter. Silver starting off at 2,000 a unit. Denver lumber is 500 a unit, and Denver coal's 300 a unit. So, like I said, yeah, you can kind of see you're not going to make a lot of money off of lumber and coal. I mean, I suppose if you commit everything to it, you might be able to, but that's risky at best. A couple things I did want to go over. I didn't go over too much in the last one. Each turn is 3 months long, roughly. So every 4 turns is a year. And you'll notice every fourth turn has got this. It doesn't look. Let's see if I can get some more light on it. Yeah, okay, that kind of helps. Maybe not. Yeah, those are purple. They're kind of a darkish purple. I think they look more black on the screen. And I know you can't really tell because it's even hard for me to tell on the screen, but there are purple rail lines out here. Like this one right here. I mean, it's real hard on this screen, and honestly, even just looking at it normally, tell the difference between a black and a purple line. Well, purple lines are lines that cannot be operated during the wintertime, as every 4 turns actually is. It's basically snow. You remember, this is Colorado. This is the Rockies. There's a lot of passes that back in the 1870s, 1880s, you weren't going to get through even if you did have a rail line running through it. Just a lot of snow in the area. The other thing I wanted to mention in multiplayer, let's see if it's on the turn. Yeah, right here. Make trades and deals. For the multiplayer game, it actually encourages making trades and deals with other players. So, if for some reason you manage to, jack a claim out from underneath the boots of one of your rivals, you could turn around and say, it's like, yeah, I'll be more than happy to give it up, but it's going to cost you this. And you can even exchange rail lines. It's like, say, one person's got this line and another person's got this line. Someone else wanted to move that line in there and you could negotiate the price for it. The game actually encourages it in multiplayer, and that's actually pretty cool. So there's some wheeling and dealing that can go on in multiplayer. So anyways, we're playing the basic game. We're starting off with 9,000. I'm not going to break out the money. I'm just going to keep it written down here. Yes, that's my chicken scratch. That's actually is 9,000, not GOUU. So I know what it says. It's the only thing that's important. All right, so let's look at this procedurally. Oh, we should probably, yeah, let's do this procedurally. Pick turn order chits. We don't have to because there's only one person playing, me, so I don't have to pick the turn order chits. Although, let's see if I can find them real quick. Oh, where are they? Yeah, right here. So, turn order, you just put them in a cup, however many people there are, have them draw up to however many people there are, and that determines the turn order every turn. That's one thing I do kind of like about it. It's not a set turn order, it's kind of all over the place, so you never know if you're going to be first one turn or third the next or what have you. So let's go ahead and mix up these. These claims cards. And yes, it sounds like the next door neighbor is fighting with her boyfriend again. So I've got to keep an ear out for that. So anyway, so we got 6 of these. Let's go ahead and put 6 of them down. What have we got? Cripple Creek, Aspen, Lake City. Oh, caught trespassing. Well, since I didn't, this is an event card. And since I didn't have it as on my prospector on it as a random draw, if drawn as an up card, discard this card and reshuffle the deck and all. Well, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and discard. I just shuffled the deck. I don't think I need to shuffle it again. All right, what else we got? Cannon City, Wrangley, and Leadville. All right, let's take a look. Let's try to find out where some of these are. And operating out of Denver, where I want to work from. Let's see. Cripple Creek is gold. That may not be a bad one to go for. That's 2 lines away. Aspen's not bad. Silver Mine, we can work towards that eventually. Lake City, that's down here. Probably won't be getting to that one. Cannon City, that's going to be down in New Mexico, I believe. Or not. And that's what, coal, so that could be. Well, I can't spot it anywhere near Denver, so let's take another. This is where I need to be better at geography. Been 40 years since I lived in Denver. Leave me alone. Wrangley's coal and Leadville. Leadville is silver. Okay, so we got some good close ones that are near us. So let's move our prospector and surveyor. So honestly, I mean, even before we put our prospector out, we need to know where we want our surveyor to go, because that'll determine what prospect we go. So you know what? Let's go the surveyor right there. And then as a prospector, I think we want that Cripple Creek. Yeah, let's go with the Cripple Creek. Now, that was my first player turn. If there are other people playing, second person would take his turn, do the exact same thing that I did. Third person, fourth person, yada, yada, yada. Resolve disputes. This is if there's more than one person going after a rail line or a claim, we go ahead and resolve that. But since I'm playing solitaire, each player in order, pay to stake claims. All right, so I'm the only one going for Cripple Creek, and to claim it is going to be 1,600. So that drops me down 7,400. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the Cripple Creek. I should probably move some of this stuff out of the way, because it's going to get a little bit busy down here, I have a feeling. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and put that there, put that to the side. So anyways, we got a prospector. We put that over by our side. So we stake the claim. Yay, it's ours. Yay, we got a gold mine at Cripple Creek. Next is pay to construct track. Right there. And that's fairly simple. You just look at where you put your surveyor down. Well, 600. There you go. That's what it costs me. So I'm down to 6,800. Okay, now you can't really tell it, but that is a purple line. So during the winter months, I'm not going to be able to operate anything off that line. Yeah, that's still probably the best way to do it. So we paid the surveyor. Yeah, that's the other thing I just absolutely love about the counter. Very minimalistic graphics. I mean, you've got 6 different colors, and none of the counters have virtually anything on them. Oh, sure, there's a couple with prospector and surveyor, but just not much in the way of counter art. I don't know what they could have put on there. Maybe a little train or length of track or something. But now, what I could have done is I could have gone for Boulder because we know Boulder has a passenger line, which is 100 every turn. But if we're looking at it, it's going to cost 400 to build the track to Boulder, and then to put up the passenger line, the length is 3. So we need to take a look at distance. So see, the cost distance times 75. So that'd be 225. So you're looking at almost for 700. Yeah, I know math is hard. You're looking at 700 have $700 basically to set up that passenger line from Boulder to Denver. Now, so that means for 7 turns, you're not going to be getting any profit out of it. Well, if you haven't won the game by turn 14, you're not going to win the game. So you've got 7 turns that you're going to be drawing in profit of $100 a turn. So in a 24 turn, in a full multiplayer, then yeah, it's almost worth it to get the Denver Boulder passenger line. But for this short a turn, no, I didn't think it was worth it. All right, pay to construct track. We did that. Produce fate, pay and roll. Okay, so basically, what does that mean? We have to pay the operating costs now if we want to operate a mine. So that's going to cost us. It cost us $1,600 to purchase the claim. Now we got to spend $400 to operate it. So we're watching more of our money disappear. I'm down to $6,400. And now we get to roll to see how much that mine actually produces. Now, since this is the first time operating the mine, it's only a D6 plus 6. So let's go ahead. 6 plus 1 is a 7. If we look on the card, 7 to 8 is 1/2. So I produce 1/2 of unit of gold. But that's okay, because that adds up over time. As long as the mine doesn't deplete. And what we do is we take the half gold mine, or gold unit, and just put it right on there like that. And that's to mark that, hey, that mine is ours, we're operating it, and so far we have a half a unit on it. Make trades or deals, no trades or deals because I'm playing against myself. Collect passenger revenue. Like I said, it happens every turn. Deliver and sell freight. Now, if I had Cripple Creek connected to Denver by rail lines, and I obviously don't because I've just got the one line out here, this is when I would be able to transport it back to Denver, and you just do it automatically. You can do it from 2 different mines in the basic game, and then, like I was mentioning in the last video, depending on your freight trains and what power they have. And like I said, I didn't want to get into that. So we don't have any deliver and sell freight. Pay a roll for jail and replacements. None of that. Roll for price changes. Roll for price changes. Okay, now this is where it gets what I think probably one of the coolest aspects of the market in this game. A lot of times, trying to do the market in a game like this, it usually just goes off of who buys in, who buys out, and then that will determine. This one, not so much. There's some dice rolls, some figuring, a little bit of math that you got to do. But basically, every turn that people put into delivering, you just go ahead and put the markers right up, all the gold, all the silver, all the lumber, all the coal, and that will help determine, well, it will determine how much is put into the system. So, price change roll. So we look at 1 dice plus the number sold times 4. Well, we had 0 gold sold into it this turn. So 1 dice plus 4. You take it, you roll it, you get a 3. And then you look on the gold shift market. Gold, we rolled a 3. It goes up in value by 1. Hey, pretty cool, huh? So, had one person put one single gold in there, that would be one dice plus four. That would have changed that to a seven, which would have brought the market down. So when you put into it, it's not automatically shifting the market down like a lot of games I've seen, but it will help shift the market down. So, but that's actually good. That the market actually did go up a little bit for us. All right, so next let's go ahead with silver. Silver's a little bit different. It's two dice plus the number sold times two minus the IDN. That's the demand number, and the demand number comes from whatever turn it is. So the higher we get in the game, the more the demand for all the products are going to be, which is going to drive the price back up, but it's also going to be kind of countered by how much is going to be going into the market each turn from all the different players. So 2d6 plus number sold times 2, which we don't have any, minus the demand number, which is 0 so far. So it's basically just going to be 2d6. Roll 2d6, we got a 7. Look on Denver Silver for 7, no change. Cool. Well, then there's Salt Lake City change, but we're not worried about Salt Lake City. So now we've got lumber, and you do this every turn regardless if stuff was moved into the market or not. Again, it's kind of a stocks and bonds mechanic. For those of you who played the old Avalon Hill stocks and bonds, it's a pretty cool mechanic. I like how it does the demand over time, and a gradual shift. By the more that you put into it, the better chances you have it's going to decrease the price. So Denver lumber, 2 dice plus number sold, none was sold, minus IDN. Whoops, get it over here. 2 dice plus number sold minus IDN. There is no demand number. So we're looking at a 6 on Denver lumber now. And 6 under Denver lumber, or even lumber in general, is no change. And coal, 2 dice plus number sold divided by 2. Yeah, you really have to dump a lot of coal into the market for it to have an effect. Minus IDN, there is no IDN. So again, it's a straight 2d6, and we've got a 9. And 9 in a coal actually indicates that the demand has gone down a little bit, so the value drops one space, and that drops to 300, which is still what the price it was normally. But again, you have these you're not going to see this shift a lot unless you have a lot of people dumping a lot of materials into each market. And so that's basically, turnip claims and passenger cards, and the advanced game turn marker. There you go. That's the turn. And like I said, if I was playing by myself, not talking to y'all, it'd be about less than 5 minutes. And like I said, the biggest part is going to be just rolling for the shifting, because you got to look at, okay, which one is it? And then look at the IDN. So the biggest part of your turn is going to be adjusting your market each turn. And also since I'm playing solitaire, what I'm going to do is a little bit something different. Normally, if you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, you're going to be cycling through these cards because people are going to be grabbing stuff every turn more than likely. I'm the only one here playing against myself. So a mechanic I like to do to kind of cycle through all these cards is I just roll 2d6, and those positions of cards, those claims got, snapped up by somebody else. It's a mechanic that I use. So, okay, so we both had 2, so both the dice rolls were 2. So the second card goes away. So it's a little way for to cycle through the cards, makes me kind of focus on, well, do I really want to run the risk of grabbing this claim or another claim because it may not be there next turn? It's just a little mechanic I use for solitaire play. So as we go ahead and advance the game turn, boom, there we go. And big turn order, chits. Oh, actually, I should have done this at the end. This is one of your flipping passenger cards. And so let's see, we got coal and Bowie and silver and Telluride. Okay, so then we advance the turn marker, and now we're into turn 2. So let's take a look. Bowie, coal. Where is Bowie? Is that? I think that's Salt Lake City. Maybe not. I really wish not that I could. It's no. I could probably do this on my own. Have a cheat sheet off to the side with a listing of all the cities and where roughly they're located. Because I will probably spend 20 minutes trying to find Bowie. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I should do that. I need to make a cheat sheet for all this. No, I'm not going to worry about it. And Telluride, that's not really anywhere in Denver that I can remember. Telluride, yeah. Way over here, northwest New Mexico. Actually, no, that would be southeast Denver. Again, don't have the map or don't have the state lines. Okay, so I'm not too worried about that one. What do we got? We still got Lake City Silver. Where's Lake City? Because I need to find what I want to buy. You don't have to buy a claim. Okay, Lake City's way down there. I don't think we'll go for that one. Cannon City, I think, was too far out of the way. Wrangley, I think Leadville. I think the silver mine in Leadville was the other one I was looking at. Because there was the silver in Aspen, but I lost that on the dice roll last year. Yeah, I think we're probably going to go. How much is the Leadville claim? 600. That's not too bad. All right. So, okay, what do we got? We got move prospectors and surveyors. So, surveying, we want to complete the line to Cripple Creek. So, I'm going to have to put my surveyor there. And as a prospector, let's go ahead and grab the Leadville one. Resolve disputes, none, construction and operation, pay to state claims. So, it's going to be 600 to pick up Leadville. So, let's go ahead and put that there. Watch more of my money dissolve away. We're at 5,800. And like I said, you don't have to buy a claim, especially when you're starting to get low on cash. But it's sometimes if it's going to be a claim that you're going to be building towards, it's not a bad idea to get them so you can start generating, the product on the card. Pay to construct track. All right, that's going to be 800. So 800, and that's also a purple track. So, but I've got the two. Oh no, there's a third one there connecting to Cripple Creek. God damn it! I was hoping to be able to start shifting some materials. Not quite yet. 5,000. So I'll get it next turn. No, yeah, right there, 300. All right. Produce fate. Fate. Right. All right, so we want to keep producing the gold from Cripple Creek. It's going to cost us 400 to do that. So again, more of our cash is disappearing. We're about half as much as we started with. And silver, Leadville is going to be 250. Really? It's got to be a 250? Ugh. 43.50. Should just give that 50 away as a dividend to my employees. All right, so we paid to operate them. Now we get to roll. Again, we use just the same thing as before, but since now this is not the first turn, Cripple Creek is a straight up 2d6 is a 7, so that is another half unit. So we can go ahead and I can either put another half unit on there, or I can just put a 1 unit on there, which is what we're going to do, because I hate dealing with fractions. That's the OCD in me. So we got 1 unit of gold, and if we look, gold is worth 5,000. Gonna make some nice money back if we manage to get Cripple Creek connected and transported. Leadville. This is the first turn we're doing Leadville, so it's going to be 1d6 plus 6. Ooh, that's a 12. Ooh, Leadville. That produces 2 units of silver for us. So yeah, it is now definitely beneficial for me to start working towards Leadville now as well. Through all that wonderful Rocky Mountains. Let's see, what's a good way to get to Leadville? I could go, let's see, I have to here, And I have to hear, I could go, probably I'll cut across here, here, and then up. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch though. 16, 2,000. Yeah, it's going to cost me at least 2,000 to even get out there. And we're down to 4,350 or 4,350. But yeah, that's good. No, that's fine. That's fine. Produce freight, pay and roll, make trades or deals, no trades or deals, collect passenger revenue. Is there a passenger in Cripple Creek? I don't think there's a passenger in Cripple Creek. For Denver, it's Pueblo, which may not be too bad for me to. Well, Pueblo pays 400. That may be worth it for me to take a couple turns if I can get it early to go into. Oh, there's Cannon City. Oh, ooh, we may have to grab Cannon City's coal because that's just one line away from Cripple Creek. Oh, very cool. So that may be worth it to work towards Pueblo to get the passenger line. What other? Colorado Springs. We're nowhere near Colorado Springs at this point. Boulder, Denver, Leadville. Yeah, Leadville. I'll probably pick up the passenger line out of Leadville because that's hefty. I mean, distance times 100. I don't even want to count that up. It's going to be a couple 3,000 at least. Alrighty, so what do we got next? Deliver and sell freight. We don't have any because we're not connected to any of our claims. Deliver and sell freight. Yep. Pay or roll for jail and replacements. We don't have to worry about that. Roll for price change. Player who went last. All right. So again, like I said, if I was playing against myself or just by myself, this would be the longest part. So gold is just a straight up 1d6. We got a 6. Oh, somebody flooded the market. Gold dropped by 2. Oh, crap. I'm going to be losing money out of that poopy. All right, Denver or silver. Again, everything is still with an IDN. The dependency number is still a 0, so we're still looking at let's see, an 8 for Denver gold. Or Denver silver goes down by 1. Not good. Let's see what happens with lumber. Again, 2d6 plus number sold. 4 is 5. No change. Or no, lumber 5 is lumber goes up by 1, so it rebounded a little bit. And coal, 2d6 plus number sold divided by 2. 11. Ooh, someone really flooded the market with coal, and that dropped it to the lowest price possible. Yeah, it can never go below 150 right here for Denver coal. Not good. Maybe I won't go for that coal mine in Cannon City because it doesn't look like it's going to be that profitable for me. Turn up claims and passenger cards. Again, since I'm playing against myself, let's see if any of these cards are depleted. 2 and 3. So Lake Silver and Tellerud silver mines. And we get replaced with Crested Buff, Crested Butte coal, Craig coal, and Silverton silver. So I always get confused because Silverton is down here in southeast Colorado, but Leadville was originally called Silverton and then changed its name, and then the other Silverton. Yeah, so I get the Silvertons confused sometimes. So that's way down there, out of my area where I want to look for it. Crested Butte. Where's Crested Butte? You'd think that'd be something. Oh, not Crested Butte. A little too far away, seeing how coal is tanking on the market. And Craig. Where's Craig? Craig. Not going to worry about it. Doesn't look like it's anywhere around where I'm really building. Oh, Craig. Okay, way up here. North. Actually, that almost is. No, I guess that's still inside. There were, as I mentioned last time, there was one expansion that came out for the New Mexico, and it added a board down here. There have been other fan-made expansions, and if you go to BGG, you can find them. There's one that fills out more of Utah, so it expands more in Salt Lake City, which gives Salt Lake City almost just as good as Denver as a starting place, because instead of just going this one way, you've got all that other way through the west of Utah to go through. There's also an expansion for Wyoming that expands the northern part. And I think they even put, I think Cheyenne, they set it up that Cheyenne is a starting city up in Wyoming. So if you wanted to, I mean, if you really like this game, there's 3 other maps right there that you can expand onto the game to expand the game's playability. Plus, it adds in new passenger cards. It adds in new claim. They add in new claim cards. So it's actually pretty cool. One of the things I do like BGG for, BoardGameGeek.com, is that if you want to find variants or fan made maps and cards, I was actually looking at the cards. I wanted to see if anybody had made up some real fancy, nice cards, but I wasn't able to find it. It's not saying they don't exist, just I couldn't find them on BGG. But normally, I was like for my Ambush game, Ambush from Victory Games, they had a real nice set of encounter cards. And I went ahead and downloaded those and spent like $12 printing them all out, because I'm an idiot when it comes to things like that. Pimp my game. All right, so now we're down to turn 3. Now the dependency number. Now we're going to start seeing a little bit more changes, more demand in the cities, because the cities are starting to get bigger. We're not in the winter turn yet, thankfully. So what do we got? Pick tornado chits? Nope. Move prospectors and surveyors. So, well, surveyors, we got to connect to Cripple Creek. There's all that. Do I want that Silverton silver? No. Do I want the Craig coal? No. Now, see, this is also where all right, there's nothing out there that I really want to buy, but, all right, someone is in, say, Pueblo, he may want that Cannon City, coal card. I may try to jack that out from underneath him and then try to get him to, bargain and wheel and deal to trade it to him. But it's also just one click away. It's one step away. And it's only 200. Really cheap op. Yeah, let's go with Cannon City. Let's go with Cannon City. Probably a bad mistake, but even if it isn't, it's just very low financial output. Let's see. Pay to state claims, so it's going to be 200 for Cannon City. And that just goes right down here with my other cards. And they stay there. Even if they get depleted, you go ahead and keep the card until you transport the materials on there. And it's possible you may go an entire game without transporting anything. And then you discard it. It doesn't go back into the rotation, because these mines are all... they only produce limited amount, and when you run out, it's not going to do any good. Now, a lot of these mines would eventually go on. There was one mine in Leadville that they thought that it had gotten tapped out, so the mine owner seeded it a little bit. I think it was the Continental or the Century mine. But he seeded, it was a silver mine, seeded it with a little silver, turned around and sold it. He thought he was unscrupulously selling it just because he wanted to dump it off because they thought that it got tapped out. But the new owners dug like 3 meters, like 9 feet, and ran into a huge another silver vein and made a lot of money off of it. But for the most part, once a mine is tapped out, it's tapped out. You just completely remove it from the game. All right, so we got to pay for Cannon City. That was 200. So 4150. Pay to construct track. We're connecting to Cripple Creek, which is going to be 300. 3850. I'm getting a little bit worried about the cash. We're getting a little bit broke. Maybe we should take out a loan. Oh, I can't take out a loan. Damn it. All right. So collect passenger revenue. I don't have any. Deliver and sell freight. There we go. We're connected. We've connected Cripple Creek to Denver. So I've got 1 unit of gold in Denver. So you know what? Let's go ahead. It sucks that the market dropped a little bit. It was 5,000, but now it's 4,500. But I need the cash influx. So let's go with 4,500, which is going to leave me, or not leave me, it's going to give me 8,350 or 8,350. So, and again, since we adjusted the market, since we put materials into the market, we just go ahead and leave this up here. And if we're playing a multiplayer game, everybody would leave their markers, and then at the end, then you would go ahead and take that into account for shifting the market. Leadville, we're not connected to Leadville. We're not connected to Cannon City. And there are no passenger lines I can try to pick up. So pay to construct track, we did that. Produce fate. Oops, I went it a little bit out of order. Produce freight. Okay, so let's go ahead and change that back. I was skipping ahead because I was a little bit too excited. So we're still at 3850. Okay. Produce fate, pay and roll. Okay, so we're gonna keep operating Cripple Creek. So it's gonna be 400 for that. We're gonna operate Leadville, which is gonna be another 250, and we're gonna operate Canyon City for another 100. So 750, which brings us down to 3,100. And we roll for it. So come on, Cripple Creek. We got a 7, which gives us another half. And Leadville, the silver mine in Leadville, is going to be a 4. Oh, balls. It depleted. Crap. So at this point, it's like, is it even worth it to now get the line out there, because I'm only going to get 2 units. Now, the good thing about Leadville has got a lot of mines in it. There are several mines out in Leadville. And so Cannon City is the first turn we're running Cannon City, so it's a D6 plus 6. It's going to be an 8, which is going to be 2 coal. We got a 2 coal. All right, there we go. Make trades or deals, collect passenger revenue, deliver and sell freight. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, I'm going to shift both units, or not both units, the 1.5. Well, how do you actually transport a half? Well, it's real easy. 1 unit is worth 4,500. The other one is half of that, so 2,250, which is for a grand total of 8,750 added onto our existing. Woo! There we go, 11,850. But since we only put a half a unit in, I consider that it was a full unit. For putting, so actually I only may have put a 1.5, but I just rounded up to 2. So we're going to say that I put 2 units. Now the rule book isn't explicitly clear about selling half units. This is just what I do. Because if you have a mine that expires after just doing a half a unit, if you can't sell a half a unit, what are you going to do with it? It's not like you're just going to let it sit there. It's your money. You're going to want to do something with it. So at least that's what I do. All right, so that's deliver and sell freight, pay or roll for jail, roll for price changes. All righty. All right, so we actually have gold that got dumped into the market. So 1d6 plus number sold times 4. Well, we had 2 units sold, so 2 times 4 is 8. So D6 plus 8. 5 plus 8 is a 13. Yeah, and gold, if it's anything over an 8, it drops by 2. So yeah, I may have kind of shot myself in the foot on that one, but I needed the money. So now gold is at 3,500. And gold is never affected by dependency. Look at silver. silver is affected by dependency. Now we're looking at 2d6 plus number sold times 2 minus the dependency number. So this is going to be 2d6 minus 1. We got 4 is a 3. And silver takes a big boost in Denver. It goes up by a whole 2. So yeah, I may have to look at really getting out there to Leadville just to get those 2. It'd be 4,000 at this. Yeah, I'd still probably make a profit. So lumber is number sold minus IDN, 2d6 minus IDN. So it's 11 minus 1 is 10. And lumber, that one took a hit. That went down by 2. And coal, 2d6 plus number sold divided by 2 minus IDN, so 2d6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. And coal actually starts to make a little bit of a comeback. So, like I said, I really like how the market works in this game. I've played a lot of market-based games, a lot of management-type games, a lot of tycoon-style games. This is probably one of my favorite mechanics for adjusting the market. I mean, there is an effect that the players putting into it have, but there is also enough of a randomness, so it's not purely what the players do, and I appreciate that. Turnip claims and passenger cards. So let's look at what two claims we're going to get rid of. 5 and 4. We already got rid of 5, so we're getting rid of Wrangley. And let's go ahead. What do we got? Hiawatha and Valencias. That's down in New Mexico. Valencias right there, and that's lumber. And I'm guessing Hiawatha. Hiawatha is an Indian name, so well, could be Colorado or New Mexico. I'll be real surprised. Oh, no. Look at that. It's Utah. Well, Utah, yeah. Hiawatha. Yeah, I don't think we're going after that one. All right, so we've gone 40 minutes, and we've done 3 turns up. We're moving into turn 4. Now, this is a snow turn. That means I cannot transport anything along purple lines, and I cannot build anything on purple lines. That's kind of an important thing as well. So let's see. Yeah, well, I was going to build along here, but I can't. Then I may grab... No, Kansas City. I can't build along that. I could go to Colorado Springs, I suppose. There's a passenger line in Colorado Springs. I may do that. That's a black line. At least I'll get some passenger revenue out of Colorado Springs. We may do that next turn. But I think we'll go ahead and call it here for now because, like I said, this is 40 minutes. And like I said, this took 3 minutes, or we're stepping into turn 4. If I'd have been playing this by myself, it'd probably take me, 10, 12 minutes to get this far. But since I can't shut up and just play and I got to talk through everything, it takes us a little longer. And my throat's starting to go out on me again. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody next time. See ya.